Now we're going to be talking about financing your flips, and I'm going to break this into a couple categories. To start, we're going to be talking about using your power base, and I'm going to explain what that is and why it's so important for you to use it. Number two is going to be identifying potential investors. So basically, that's where networking is going to be key principle for you to do. Again, the more people you're going to meet, the more relationships you make with new people, you're going to make a lot more money. They're going to contribute to you as you contribute to them. So it's extremely important that you start networking as of right now. Next is going to be outlining the investment opportunity. I'm going to explain exactly what that is and how it works and why it's extremely important for you to gain the trust of anybody who's going to give you money for you to manage a project, or just a lender overall if you have the capital to put a 20% down on a single family flip and you want to leverage the other difference by using a hard money loan. You want to talk to these people, you want to speak to people and outline the investment opportunity, why it's a good deal for them to give you that money. Discuss the terms is also extremely important, because now let's say that you have the money, somebody likes the deal, they want to give you the money, they want to fund you the deal. Now you need to understand the terms. You need to discuss the terms, how they're going to be, and you need to ask, okay, so how does this work? How is this going to make me money, and how is this going to make you money? So you're going to be very specific when you're asking these questions. You're going to be straightforward. Finally, executing the business plan. Why this is so important that you do. Okay. So the power base, basically, the power base is those people who you already have a contact with. We're talking about family members, people you have worked with in the past, friends that you have for many, many years that are more successful or so, and they have money and so on. You want to reach out to these people because they already know you, okay? When you start talking about the investments opportunities, a lot of people are going to be interested, okay? And most of the time, whenever you start investing and you want to use someone else's money in order to help you fund deals, it starts with your closest people, your friends, your family, your workers, people you used to work with, and so on. This is where your actual work starts, because you start gaining the trust of a person who's looking for deals, and now people start coming to you because of that. People start coming to you asking you questions about, hey, I heard that now you're making money for somebody by doing this and that. I wanna be part of it. I have some money in savings that I want to use, and I just don't know what to do. People are gonna come to you once you let them know that you become an investor. Once you let them know what exactly you're working on, people will come to you as well. But you need to go to them first. You need to call them first. You need to understand that everything starts with a conversation. All you do is you call them, check how they're doing, what they're working on, how their job is paying them off, and so on, and ask questions such as that. And finally, you get to your point. You get to, hey, I started investing in real estate. I'm looking for houses. And take the conversation from there. Try to control the conversation so you go directly to the point of what you really, really need, of what you really want. But of course, talk to them and see how interested they're going to be, because maybe out of 100 people that you may have in your contact list, maybe only 10 of them are really going to be interested. But 10 people is going to be enough. And finally, from those 10 people, 5 of them are probably going to close. 5 of them are probably going to close a deal with you. They're going to work with you because you brought them the opportunity. And this is how everything works. You bring the business opportunity to somebody, somebody takes it, somebody agrees with you, and that's how you start making money, by using someone else's money, okay? That's how you truly are able to fund your deals, by collaborating with different people so that you come together and you start doing your own deals. This is exactly how it works. Listen, this is exactly how it works, and this is how it has worked for the past many, many years. This is how it's always been. Those people who don't have any money at all, those people who don't have savings and now they're making a lot of money, that's how they start. This is exactly how they begin the journey when they're investing in real estate. This is actually how a lot of people become wealthy when they were not. nor they had the background of wealthy people as well. Their parents were broke, grandparents were broke, always in poverty, but they made that change. And now they started investing with other people by looking for deals and collaborating with friends and families and ex-co-workers and so on. So this is how you want to see it. When you bring an opportunity, someone is going to take the hook. Someone is going to be more than excited to be able to work with you. This is why you need to reach out to them. Now, there's 3 things that I want you to know about this, okay? Number 1 is you need to educate them if they have never invested in the past, okay? Now, a lot of people know that investing in real estate is very, very powerful, but a lot of people also don't know how to get started. This is why it brings a lot of interest when you tell people, I became a real estate investor, I'm looking for my deals. It's super powerful, and you need to educate people on how it works. You need to teach people everything that I'm teaching you, explain the math, explain the process, explain the lending process, how long it's going to take for the property to sell, what exactly you need to do in order to fix the property, who you need to work with, how much you're going to be able to expand in order to flip the property, and so on. Be very specific, be very detailed by educating a lot of these people who are interested in eventually investing with you. That's super important. That's key. It's extremely important that you do this, because if you don't do it, you're not going to get nowhere. Also, by you explaining how it works, depending on the interest of that person, you will automatically know if this is something they're going to be interested in doing with you or not interested in doing with you. If they show no interest about what you're talking about, end the conversation as soon as possible and move to the next person. Okay? Hear me out. If somebody is not paying attention to what you're saying, end the conversation as soon as possible so that you focus your energy on someone who's actually going to pay attention to everything that you're going to talk to them about, especially when it comes about making money. All right? Number 2, teach them the math. So I guess I already spoke about that. A lot of people don't learn by just listening. They want to see it to believe it. A lot of people. Some people are going to be able to understand the process just by listening to you, but if you show them how the math actually works, a lot of people will be even more intrigued in doing business with you. Talk to them, and then you show them how it works. You can pull out a pencil, or as a matter of fact, you can probably have a deal in your hand already and tell them how the numbers are going to work, and you break it down. So this is how much the property is going to be worth once it's fully rehabbed. This is the closing cost, which is going to be about 10%, 6% for the realtors, and for another 4% for miscellaneous, and also including the title fees. Okay. After that, this is how much it's going to take for you to rehab the property, or for me to rehab the property. And then here's the profits, and here's the purchase price. And the profits is what we're going to split in half, 60-40, however you want to do it, right? However you're able to work this deal with a person, but you need to explain the math. Why? Because it's going to give them the confidence that you know what you're talking about. And they are able to understand everything that you're saying, because you're also showing them how the process really works. When you find somebody who's excited about investing and interested about investing, they're going to give you all their attention in the world. Trust me, that's just how the process works. When somebody has money and they're interested on doing what you're doing, and by learning of what you're telling them, they're going to be able to trust you and fund you the deal that you need to be funded. Okay? That's why you don't want to waste any time. You go straight to the point. If they're not paying attention, you move on, go to the next person, until you get to the people who are going to pay attention to you and listen to you. It's extremely important that you know that process. And now, one thing that I want to tell you is, as soon as you start doing this, you're going to be able to quickly know who's going to be interested. Okay? You get accustomed to it. Because right now you possibly may be saying, oh, but I don't know if this person is going to be interested or not. But listen, as soon as you start implementing what I'm telling you, and you start doing it, and you start talking to all the people that you know that you are an investor, some people are going to stick to you and listen to you and watch you. A lot of people are going to watch you, as a matter of fact. But let's see if this guy can make this happen, or this girl can make this happen. This is exactly how it works. That's why you want to pay attention as much as possible. Now, talk to them about why this opportunity is great and why you. Okay, so by this I mean, You show them the math, you show them the profits. Now you need to explain, or you need to tell them why you are the right person for them to be doing business with. Okay? So this is when you get your core values, who you are, what your goals are, what you truly want to make, and you go all out and you tell them exactly everything about you. The reason why you wanted to do real estate. The reason why you were tired of doing a 9 to 5, or maybe not having any goals in mind, okay? This is extremely important because, see, a lot of people, a lot of us, we work through connections, through emotional connections. So when you make a connection with a person, they're going to be automatically linked to you, okay? There's going to be trust involved automatically, because when you make a connection, people feel like they already know you. And I don't want you to use this in the wrong way. I want you to know that this is powerful. Connect with people, those who are close to you and have the money, and tell them why you are the right person for them to be able to invest with, okay? In my case, in my scenario, what I did is I told everybody, I just don't want to be broke anymore. I just don't want to be like my father. I don't want to be working all day, all night, coming home, not seeing my kids. That was my main thing. That was the most important thing for me. And some people felt connected with this because they wanted the exact same thing that I wanted. And that's why I was able to gain this trust from a lot of people so that they could invest with me, because this is exactly what they're doing. They're not investing in the deal, they're investing in you. And this is when everything comes together. Why you? Write down what your goals are, because when you start to know yourself even more about what you truly want, and you become specific, you become focused on what you want, you're going to be able to easily influence other people about telling them and sharing with them why you are the right person to work with. This is one of the most important skills that you can learn when you are investing and when you don't have the money. You make powerful connections with other people. Keep this in mind, and I want you to be aware of it. Because when you become aware, you start doing things with intention. You need intention to make things happen. You need purpose and intention to make everything happen. What's the intention here? The intention is that these people trust you enough to give you money for you to be able to buy the first deal, sell the deal, and split the profits evenly. Or however you want to do it. Some people do it differently. Some people do it by percentage. You lend me $80,000 and I will give you a percentage of that. And so on. A lot of people do it. A lot of people are down to do it because they know they're going to be able to make money. You can do it so many different ways. You just have to be very strategic and creative. But the most important thing is going to be why you are the right person for them to invest with. Okay, let's talk about outlining the investment opportunity. So by outlining, I'm talking about how you're going to break down the investment opportunity that you found to the people that you were talking about, or your power base, about in a specific deal that you have in your hands. Okay, so let's assume that now you have a deal under contract, right? Now you were able to talk to the seller, you negotiated a really good price with the seller. Now you have this deal under contract. They agreed to sell you the property for da-da-da-da-da. Now you need to come to some people and tell them, hey, I found this opportunity. I want to show you this opportunity and you should be ready to invest. And here's why. So what you do is you create an investment proposal that explains the details of the flip or the home venture. Venture, it's a word that you use when there's two people or more people working together. Okay. So number one, location. You want to talk about the location of this deal. This is why we did the market analysis. It's extremely important that you present that, because people are going to feel more secure about the investment itself. Okay. Now that they trusted you to be the right person for them to invest with, now you need to show them that the location of this property is great and that you're going to be able to sell it quickly because of the location. Now, again, we were talking about the location as if there's a lot of crime rates everywhere you go, right? But also you can tell on your location which neighborhoods are the best ones, which ones are the medium ones, and which ones are the bad ones. And a lot of people who live in that same area as you, they're also going to know the same thing. Location is going to be extremely important, okay? You don't want to buy anything in the hood. You want to buy something where it's more of a blue collar. So people, middle class, hardworking people, both spouses working. That's truly what you want to aim for. Now, when it comes to location and in real estate, it's defined in categories: A location, B location, C location, D location. D location, it's the worst neighborhoods that you can think of, the danger zones and so on. C class or C location and B location is the hardworking people, and A location is usually higher class people or more expensive neighborhoods. Usually, as a first time investor, you want to do C and B class, okay? So average neighborhoods, okay? Now, the purchase price. You want to tell them why this deal is a steal. When you're buying a property, you truly make your money when you're buying the property, not when you're selling the property. So the purchase price is one of the things that you want to let them know, you want to emphasize, and why this deal is so good, why it's so cheap, why we're buying this deal for so cheap. You want to tell them the purchase price. Also, the estimated renovation cost. So we spoke about this a few minutes ago. You have to be aligned with how much the investment is going to cost. So I'm talking about how much they had to put as a down payment, right? How much you had to get from a lender, okay? And how much is going to cost for you to rehab the property. So this is extremely important that you have an idea of how much this is going to cost. It's extremely, extremely important. Now, the marketing strategy is extremely important as well, because this is going to define how quickly this property can sell. For this, you need to be able to work with realtors. You need to be able to speak to a lot of realtors and define which realtor is going to be the best one so that you can work with. And then you ask them, okay, so how are you going to market the property? And whatever they tell you, whatever they're going to do for the marketing, that's what you are always going to remember, and you're going to tell to your investors. So this is what we're going to do. This is the plan. This is the goal. We're going to put this on the MLS. Zillow is going to be on Redfin. It's going to be everywhere. So a lot of people are going to show interest. You're also going to talk to them. You put them together with the location. This location, it's a really good market overall, and people are selling homes in 60 days, 30 days, whatever it is. All right. So you do the research so that you know how averagely it's going to take you to close on the property once you sell it. And then the expected return on the investment. So basically how much money the person who was helping you is going to be able to make. This is important because you're going to make money, right? By putting your time, your energy, but you're using someone else's resources as well. So you want to be very specific on how much money you expect to give them back. And for that, you need to be able to learn the math, the one that I was teaching you, to be able to understand the process of it, okay? I'm going to have an assignment also of you calculating the math multiple times so that you start getting used to it and you start implementing the math as many times as possible. Every deal that you look at, every deal that you analyze, until it becomes a habit that you understand how much money it's going to take for you to do a rehab on a property. What are some few ways that you can get capital? So number one, you can get a hard money loan. There's hard money loans right now. It changes all the time. But a couple of years ago, maybe 2020, 2021, these hard money loans had a higher interest rate, probably around 16%, 16%, 17% on the investment. However, they were giving you 100% of the property. Sometimes you had to put no money down, sometimes you did, but they were also giving you the rehab cost. This is when you want to connect with a lot of hard money lenders to see what are the best terms are going to be. The best terms are going to be. So hard money loans is one of them. There's also fix and flip loans. They're completely different than hard money loans. So you want to purposely look for the fix and flip homes because now they're going to have different terms. They understand that you're going to be able to sell the property within 3 months, 4 months, whatever. Hard money loans is almost the same thing, but hard money loans, for the most part, they have a higher interest rate. And then the other thing you want to do is home equity loans or lines of credit. Now, some of you may know what this is and some of you may not. If you own a home already and the house has equity, let's say equity is basically when the property has a lot of value currently in the marketplace, but you only have a loan, maybe $100,000 difference. So let's say you have a mortgage of a property that's currently worth $400,000, but your loan is $280,000 or $300,000. That means you have almost $100,000 equity. Which what that means is you take out that home equity from there, right? you can use that money. It works as a credit card basically, or as a checking account. You can use that money to use it as a down payment for another deal that you're going to flip, or you can use that money to just do the whole thing if it's giving you enough money. And then lines of credit, they are very similar, but it's more like a personal loan that you get. However, it's not a credit card, so it's a loan that you get that you can use the money whenever. You use it, you start paying interest, and then you pay it off, but the amount stays the same, right? So it's not a personal loan where if you apply for a personal loan, once you finish paying that off, it closes the account. No, personal line of credit is basically you have an allowance that you can use of $100,000. Just to give you an example, let's say you qualify $100,000, and you can use that $100,000 towards anything. Let's say you use $50,000 of it, you pay interest on that. Usually it's a very small interest, and then once you finish utilizing that money and you pay that $50,000 back off, then the money goes back up to $100,000 that you can use whenever, whatever time is going to be convenient for you. So now going back to this, there's actually also private investors. So just like, for example, in a specific group of people who wants to invest their money and they have a specific terms. So not necessarily is it's a fix and flip or a hard money loan. It's just literally private capital, private money from a group of people who want to use their money to be able to invest. And they're going to have different options. It's going to be either fixed profits, right? A fixed return on the investment, or it's also going to be a share profits of whatever you sell the property for. It's going to vary it. It's going to change. It's going to be different every single time. But once you start making these connections, and once you start meeting people that do it, you're going to understand the terms and you're going to see if it works for you or if it doesn't work at all. So those are the things that you want to see. Those are the main things that you want to be aware of of these options, because again, the more people you meet, the more opportunities you're going to have. And it's as simple as that. The more people you meet, the more opportunities. The more people, more opportunities, and so on. Just so on. It repeats the process many times. That's why you need to meet a lot of people so that you have different options that you can choose from. It's extremely important that you do this. Is start networking. You need to start networking as of now. Look for those local events. Venture capital, basically it's a firm that invests in real estate, either directly through their portfolio companies and so on. So venture capital, it's another way. It's they're private firms as well, and they do ventures together. So people that you connect with to do deals together. I have not done venture capitals. But I have gotten the option to. However, I just done it with so many private investors that my terms work fantastic. I've done it with so many hard money loans that it just works the best for me. Okay, and then there's also crowdfunding platforms that you can also use. I never use one of the crowdfunding platforms, but I'm actually considering making one. I want to make a platform where if the deal makes sense, we can use that money to invest, and the property has to qualify. You will have to qualify. So crowdfunding is basically somebody comes in and says, you know what, we're going to make something, we're going to make a specific platform to invest in real estate, but this is going to be the specific way of doing it, the specific strategy. Some people use crowdfunding for just rental properties, but there's many different ones. So again, you want to be aware of all these options so that you find the best one that's going to work for you. The reason why I shared you all the ones that I know of is because every single one of you are going to have different strategies, but you have to be aware of all of them. And also the reason why I share every single one of these is because one of you might know somebody in one specific field, and then you just have to contact them and talk to them about what you're doing. Start taking action now. Do the process, do the task, and take action.